Hello, everyone. Welcome to the latest edition of the Junior All-Star Season Preview Show. I am very excited to have with me the Minnehaha Academy girls basketball team with me today. Thank you, ladies and coach. We will have you introduce yourself. Coach, we'll kick it off with you.
Well, thanks again, Eric, for having us here. Excited for the opportunity. I'm Matt Pryor, Minnehaha Academy girls basketball head coach. I'm going into my fourth year coaching the Redhawks. We've put together a pretty talented team this year. Girls have been working hard all off season, so we're happy to be here.
And we'll kick it to the players. We'll start with you, Addi.
I'm Addi Mack. I'm a freshman and I'm a point guard.
Aniyah.
I'm Aniyah Reuben. I'm a junior and I'm a small forward.
Lydia.
I'm Lydia Schroeder. I'm a senior and I'm a shooting guard.
Telia.
I'm Telia Graham and I'm a senior and I'm a forward.
Jennica.
I'm Jennica Suggs. I'm a sophomore and I'm a forward.
Some tall teams and some young players. Coach, you got some youth. That's going to be a fast pace, I think. So
No doubt.
always.
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, we certainly got a window of opportunity with the youth. We're excited about it.
So what we always do, as I say, we take a peek back at last year. We don't try to get stuck too much. It was a crazy season, COVID year, wearing masks, not knowing day to day if you're going to have a game, what players you're going to have available and whatnot. I think you had a pretty successful one. I remember a video of someone getting doused in water coming into the locker room. So I think there was some success there last year. Coach, just kind of briefly review, your thoughts on last year, how it went, and kind of, overall thoughts and feelings towards it.
Yeah. When I was blessed enough to take over a Minnehaha program where Josh, he left me a really good roster. We were obviously able to win a state championship that year. I knew we had a window of opportunity where we had to get some new talented young players, and then the kids we did already have in the program, we had to develop them. Going into last season, a lot of people, I think, assumed that we were going to be in a rebuilding year. That was the first time in my experience at Minnehaha we had not entered the preseason ranked by any of the preseason ranking services. So we went in with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. We were an incredibly young team, started 4 underclassmen last year, didn't have a single senior on the roster. As a coach, I knew we'd be talented, didn't know exactly how it would play out, but a testament to these girls' hard work and credit to them. The team bonded, came together. We had a handful of signature wins, and we were able to win a section championship, which anytime you can make the state tournament, starting an 8th grader, 2 freshmen, bringing another freshman off the bench, that's exciting. Like I touched on earlier, it's a window of opportunity we think we have before us here, and something we're hoping to capitalize on moving forward.
And Addi, for you, I'll ask, kind of as one of those younger, kind of newer faces, I should say, last year on the team, was it like making state at a younger age, and kind of how can you use that experience going into this year?
Well, the section championship game was really exciting. I think that after we got that win, it was a good way to cap off like the regular season and the section tournament. And for me, I had never made a state tournament before. So it was good for me to kind of learn what it was like and just get like the experience. And then for the team, I think it was good for us to really prepare. And I think we learned a lot of like the mental stuff that we need to work on. So I'm excited for this year, and I hope we can go back.
And this one will go to Telia. As someone who is kind of more of an experienced on the team, how did you kind of give wisdom, kind of be that steadying voice for the team last year, and then into this year, kind of, how do you embrace taking on that role?
I don't I would say like during last year, I think I was like more of the calm one coming into that first game of the and I think that's what it has to be this year too, because we do have a lot of young people on our team, and I am like one of the most experienced persons that like been here for whatever since Pryor's been here. So I think it's just going to be just, being the rock for the team and just giving out advice when I can.
Like it. Coach, we'll kick it back to you as we kind of turn to this year. I always ask the question, I know there's a different, there's different philosophies of coaches. So with state, getting there, obviously I guess the goal would probably be to get back there this year. Are you a coach that's kind of, we take it day by day, we focus on the little things and the big things take care of themselves? Or are you kind of, we want the goal out there, this is what our goal is, and this is what we do every day to work towards it? Kind of what's your mentality from the coaching aspect of that?
Good question. It's very much a bit of both. We've always stressed being a goals oriented program. I think it's important to set goals at the start of each season. That is the first team meeting we do. We bring all the girls in the classroom. We set individual goals, we set team goals, and we set season goals. And just having a visual representation up on the board, coming together collectively as a group, talking about what it is we think we can accomplish and what we want to set for ourselves. That's something that gives us something to aim for, as we're in practices, hammering out the details, doing all those little things. I mean, the season, it's a grind. I mean, no other high school sports season is as long as the basketball season. Before you know it, you've been together as a program for 5 months. I mean, it really becomes a sisterhood in the sense that you're together so much, but through that, you really do have to be detail oriented, because I think when you're always together, when you're practicing 6 days a week, it can be really easy to lose sight of the fundamentals and what's really important. So I think it's a mix of both. You set your goals, you become goal oriented, and now it's a matter of what steps do we take to reach that ultimate goal. And I'm blessed enough to lead a program where the goal and the bar has been set high in the past, and we're looking forward to continuing that tradition.
We'll kick this one to Jennica. Turning to this year, is there a certain team, a game on the schedule that's circled? It's that kind of, we get amped up a little more for this. I know everyone says the next game is the best one, and that's the right answer. Is there a game that kind of like we get up for that team?
I'd for sure say always our section championship game against Concordia is the one game we're just all super excited for. It's almost like our rivalry, so we're all super hyped up for that one. But I think this year, especially, I think we're all kind of really excited to play Hopkins. I think that's what we're going to work toward, to be better, so that it can be a good, like, competitive game. But yeah, that's a team that I think we're all really excited to play and have them circled on our list for sure.
I had a conversation with Coach last year, speaking of Hopkins. I'm excited for the Taylor Woods and Jennica Suggs matchup, because I said the games are very similar. So whatever day that is, just plan on me being in the stands for that one, because I'll be there for that. So I'm excited for that. That'll be circled on my list now too.
Yeah, I love Taylor. It's gonna be a good game. I'm excited.
If you get a block, you got to do these. You got to give the flex on if you get a block.
I got you.
Coach too. And then, so we'll go, Lydia, we'll go here. I'm ask you a little bit, kind of in terms of that, when you're talking about with this team, with you as the 5 captains, from your perspective, what are things you do kind of on the court during practice stuff to have those younger players understand that, hey, every practice is important, not to take plays off, to make sure they stay focused and everything during a game?
I would say a big thing is just leading by example, like especially having a younger team, showing up, putting in the work, staying late, going early, like being on time, and just like showing them what the standard is and continuing that.
Aniyah, we'll kick this one to you. We have some fun questions here. Who's that hype girl person on this team, that big and one, that big steal, that block? They holler and they flex and they pumping it up. Who's that person on the team?
It's definitely Jennica. She is our voice. Yes, she's our hype one.
What's it like, from your perspective, when she's doing that, like she gets a big block and, when she gets the Taylor Woodson block and gives us the flex, what's that like for you on the court?
It's just fun. It gets us all amped up and just like motivates us to just keep playing hard and stuff like that.
This one goes out to all the players. Now, we can mute him if we have to. Is there any coachisms or, during practice, what is something he says often, kind of mantra that he has? Bonus points if you can do an impersonation. I feel like there's some good ones. I'm seeing some spaces, but I'm not seeing any answers.
There's too many.
Don't be shy now, ladies. Don't be shy now. It's funny you asked that, Eric, because at the end of our season last year, I give the girls an open forum where they have to do actually a coach impersonation, and let's just say there were a lot of laughs coming out of that meeting. So don't be shy now, ladies.
Any coachisms? What stuff that he says often in practice, or kind of his go-to saying in a tough game, tough situation?
I don't know. I can't think of any. Can you guys? I can't think of any.
There's so many. I'm just drawing a blank.
What he says a lot, like he said a lot of it last year, but he's like, I'm gonna be joyful today.
Oh gosh, yes.
That's one I could think of just right off the bat.
I always say we should meet up in the middle of the season again, so I could ask what are coachisms, because that's when you're like in the heat of the season and you're like, they've heard it every day and stuff. They're probably like, well, we can say it now because we've heard it every day for the last 3 months.
I think one is, though, when he comes in the locker room or whatever room we're in after when he's like, clap it up for a win. and then he claps on his little whiteboard. It's so funny.
And then, so this is the other one that I sometimes get an answer and everyone kind of stares at me sometimes. Is there a good, healthy trash talker on the team besides coach? Okay.
I think Barrett. Yeah.
I was gonna say Barrett too.
Barrett, definitely Barrett.
That was my thought too from last year. I remember watching her in a couple games, and I like that young point guard that she had no problem, John, no matter who she's playing with. And I'm like, I like that. I'm like, I like a little John back and forth. Do you guys like it out there? Or are you kind of like, girl, get moving?
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. Especially, initiating it, sometimes I'm like, okay, but if people want to talk, I could talk back for days. Like, I love talking back to people, especially when Barrett's right there beside me, talking to the student section, talking to the fans.
So Barrett and Jennica are the two that no one else spoke up. Addi, you don't know trash talking? No, you let your game.
We're trying to get Addi to the point where she trash talks a little bit because she's got the game to back it up there. Yeah, it is. I think it's funny that you asked that, Eric, because we just had Marquette's women's coaching staff in the gym yesterday for our open gym, watching some of the girls play, and the girls will go at each other. They'll talk a little trash. They'll argue over fouls. They'll get up and compete. And it's always reassuring as a coach when coaches who are coaching at that level turn to you and say, like, man, I love seeing this, because at the end of the day, our girls will talk trash. They'll compete. They'll argue. They'll scratch. They'll claw at each other in practice. But once it's all over, they come together. We finish every practice with a prayer. The girls always huddle up and pray together, and it's all love off the court. So it's nice when you can have that balance of competing in practice and then remembering who your sisters are off the floor.
See, Addi, the key is that you have the game to back it up. I trash talk at Lifetime and I don't have the game to back it up. So that's a problem for me. There's where my issue comes in. So we'll go a little bit more like if you guys as players. I always ask the question, and this is to all 5 of you. Is there a player, male, female, WNBA, NBA, college, high school, that you have modeled your game after, enjoy watching? Jennica, I think you might have a sibling that a lot of us have heard of, I think maybe, but like male, female, NBA, WNBA that you guys, you like to kind of model your game after, you feel that you're kind of like that player. We'll start with Lydia.
I would say maybe like Steph Curry shoots a lot of threes. I like to shoot a lot of threes. Yeah.
Yeah. Did we lose you? Talia?
Oh, my bad.
Okay.
Since freshman year, I think a lot of people said I play like Katie and I kind of look like him. So I think since freshman year, I started watching more of Katie. So I'd say Katie now.
Aniyah?
I don't really have a specific, but like I would say like the thicker guards, because like that's just my build, and I just think like that's who I look at when like trying to perfect my craft.
I feel like a Chelsea Gray comes to mind when I think of you.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Jennica.
This is kind of corny, but I do have to say my brother. I've been watching him for so long, and like again, this is corny, but like I admire the way he passes, the way he talks on the court, defense, everything. And so I really try to model my game after him. I don't know how good of a job I do at it, but I really try to take after him in that sense.
Addi.
Well, someone I really liked watching is Paige, and I know she's like such a phenomenal player, but I just like how she kind of does everything on the court. Like she'll get a bucket on offense, and then she'll come back down, and then she'll get a steal, and then she'll be creating for like all of her other teammates. So I like to try to work on stuff so I can play like.
And then the next question for the players. So we're gonna go a little history here, and this is Minnesota girls basketball history, or I should say past or present. Any player that you have not had a chance to in AAU, high school, or any level had a chance to play with, who's the one player you wish you would have liked to have a chance to play with? We'll go back to Addi here to start.
Probably Paige, honestly. I think it would be fun to play with her.
Jennica.
That's a hard one. I say Paige too, because I've known her for so long, just like a big sister. So I got to play with Mia, my older cousin. That was fun. So I imagine it'd be the same with Paige.
Aniyah.
Well, I went to Hopkins in like 7th grade, so I would like practice and play against her. And I played with Adalia, who's also super good. But honestly, I'd probably say playing with Mia would be fun.
Telia.
I don't even know. I don't know. I don't have one right now.
We got some good history. Got some Banham, got some Rebecca Dahlman. I was gonna say, Coach, when you talk about Barrett, she reminded me, she had the game and the swagger of a Rebecca Dahlman. That's who she
She certainly
reminded me.
has the fire. She certainly has that same fire and that same competitive spirit, no doubt.
Lydia, who's someone that you would like a chance to play with?
I'd have to say Paige as well, just because she can do it all. It'd be really fun to play with her.
So, Coach, we're gonna flip the question a little bit. Who's someone, past or present, Minnesota girls basketball? I usually get told they won't say present because they don't want to be considered recruiting, but past it for just fine. Who's a player that you had never had a chance that you'd have loved a chance to get a chance to coach?
I mean, there's a name that immediately comes to mind. Paige Meyer, formerly of Albany, who is playing at South Dakota State now, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
I had the misfortune of having to coach against her sophomore year. We're playing against them in the state semifinals, and she almost single-handedly beat us. Now, thankfully, we were able to edge out a win, go on to win the state championship. But just the way she influenced the game, made everyone around her better. She scored, she could pass. She hit a three from like 27, 30 feet out to bring her team within 3 in the last couple of seconds of the game, after we had just spent an entire timeout explaining how we weren't going to give up a 3 to Paige Myers. She was an incredible player. Just the coldest move I've seen in girls basketball. We had our press on, we had her trapped in the deep corner, and she rolled the ball in between my girls, jumped through the double team, picked the ball up off the dribble, and I don't even remember what she did as she dribbled it down the court, but it was one of the best moves I've ever seen, coaching high school girls basketball. She's a phenomenal player. Man, if I had a chance to stay in Lindsay I would have told her. Paige Meyer, this is a girl you got to check out, because South Dakota State certainly got a fantastic player.
I remember talking to her when we had the championship series, and she was like a rebound for one of the, I think the semifinal, the rebound away, and then an assist away in the championship game from triple doubles. I'm like, did you notice? Like, no, I had no clue. I'm like, everyone in that arena would know I was close if I was anywhere close to a triple double. They're gonna know I'm close. When she's like, I mean, that's just how she was just wanting. She wasn't. I remember Kashina Alexander, when she talked one time when she won a state title, she's like, I was not leaving without a title. I'm like, Paige had that mentality last year in state. Like, she wasn't leaving the state without a title.
No doubt. I think she got so close as a sophomore. It it's always a cool thing, despite the fact that you're coaching against and competing against a lot of these kids and other coaches. At the end of the day, when you know a little bit of their history and their backstory, and to see her end her senior year out on top like that, she earned every bit of that. And as a basketball fan, just as a whole, regardless if you're Redhawks or Albany or whatever you may be, just as a basketball fan, you can always appreciate that.
And so now we'll go to a little bit of the atmosphere at a Minnehaha game. We'll start with Jennica. Now, if someone has never been to a Minnehaha game, once again, I don't know where they've been. If they haven't been to one yet, what are they going to see atmosphere-wise, on the court, in the stand? What are they going to experience at a Minnehaha girls basketball game?
I mean, you're going to see every type of person at that basketball game. You're going to see grandmas, you're going to see little babies, you're going to see toddlers, you're going to see moms, dads, sisters, brothers. It's really family oriented. A lot of people come out, a lot of families come and support the girls. And then we always have a bunch of students. Like a lot of the times we'll have like the whole boys basketball team just in a corner watching us every game, just cheering us on. And then on the court, it's just energy. We try to have energy on the bench and on the court. We'll have cheers that we practice at practice. So we try to have fun all the time and make it so that our energy on the bench can go to the energy on the court as well, so that we come out with the dub.
I like it. And so what we're going to do is, I like hearing teammates describe teammates. So we're going to go around and do that. We'll start with Lydia. What's it like knowing that you have Telia behind you guys as guards, kind of in the help defense, ready to swat a shot into about the 14th row? What's that like from the guard perspective?
It's pretty reassuring, that Talia is always there. If someone gets by you, Talia is gonna get up and block them or whatever. And so it's good to know that she's back there.
Talia, what's it like having Jennica, because she kind of slides guards, she plays 1 through 5 at times. What's it like having her sometimes in the paint with you or kind of out there on the court with you?
It's really good because I already know Jenica's gonna play hard every single play. Doesn't matter what game or how much we're down by or how much we're up by. She's gonna be playing hard and she's gonna be pushing everybody else. So,
Jennica, describing a big, strong guard like Aniyah Reuben, what's it like knowing that she can kind of power her way to the basket, that she can handle the ball, defend, rebound, all from that position?
Not gonna lie, it feels good to have Nye. A lot of times we'll have bigger girls like post try to guard Nye, and she is way faster than them. So I'll just be like, Nye, get the ball, go do what you got to do, get a bucket, create for us. And then on the defensive end, she's always there. She gets so many blocks. She's just huge in the lane every time. So it's good to know that she's always there at all times. And she plays hard all the time. She puts her heart on the floor. So.
Aniyah, having a just wickedly accurate scorer like Addi, who can just score from all 3 levels, create her own shot, move off the bounce, kind of just, that just get her the ball and she's gonna go get you a bucket. What's that like?
I love playing with Addi. She's our young killer. We can really depend on her. If we need a 3 or game time situations, we can really count on Addi to get it done.
Addi, and then in the back row with you, you have the sharpshooter Lydia. What's it like knowing, hey, I got my splash sister over here with me. We're gonna drill them from 3. If they give us 1 ounce of daylight, we're gonna burn them.
I think that it's fun playing with Lydia, and when I pass her the ball or I drive, I know she's in the corner, so I can kick it out to her. And then also just on defense, I know that she'll always do the extra thing. If somebody's coming down the court, she'll try to take a charge. And it's just nice knowing that she's gonna do that.
And so we'll give coach some love. We've given him some ribbon. We'll give him some love. From the player's perspective, I described him as very passionate. You can see that he's passionate about the game, about his team, about the players. He's passionate about defending you guys if there's a bad call or something. What's that like from your guys' perspective, knowing he has your back in tough situations, close games? It's that trust factor. We'll start with Talia.
I said it's really good to know that a coach has your back because if there's a bad call or, we're down and it's crunch time, he's going to give his speech. He's going to do what he has to do to hype us up, to give everybody the confidence to pull off that game or just bring it all together.
Jennica, anything to add about Coach?
Coach Pryor is so, like you said, passionate about everything, whether it's we're winning, we're losing, talking to the refs. So it's good to know that you always have somebody that's fighting for you. A lot of times people don't have that. And so just to have a coach who's always there, especially for me, because I'll get a technical because the refs don't like me. So it's always nice to know Coach Pryor is back there and I don't have to say anything. I can just let him worry about it.
He'll get that technical for you. I've seen it. I've been at a few games once in a while.
Yes.
So Coach, kind of, from your perspective, what, that philosophy of being passionate and, kind of that relationships in terms of with the player, them knowing that you have their back, kind of why is that important to you that make sure they know like that you have in the tough situations and the bad calls, you got them?
No doubt. Whether it's practice or whether it's a game, I ask of these players to leave it all on the line, to bust it, to give 120%. And, from my own playing experience, there's nothing more frustrating as a player than when you are giving it your all, you go through the lane, you get hammered, referee misses the call, you're going back on defense and your coach is sitting there arms crossed. Now I think it's a little easier for me to get up, just in the sense that I've always been a passionate coach. I'm a passionate person. The girls, I'm sure, I know for a fact they've been able to see that in me, both on and off the floor. And, at the end of the day, I am who I am. That's never something I'm going to hide from. But I always want my kids to know that, just as hard as I'm going to ask them to work for me, I'm going to work just as hard, if not more, for them. And I think being able to physically show that in the heat of battle, that goes a long ways. Because there's times where I'll ask these girls to run through a brick wall for me, and they've shown time and time again that they're willing to do so, and they're willing to do so together. And I think it's important when you have that sort of dynamic within a team.
I was gonna say for the players, I think they're happy not to have the mask, but I wonder if some coaches would still like to have it a little bit. And then kind of, the mask with a little bit of a shield could kind of muffle some stuff. I'm like, I bet some coaches still wish they could have a little bit of the mask. So
it definitely saved me from a couple technicals. I do feel bad, as definitely one of the technicals that were assessed to Jennica last year was definitely my fault. He unfortunately took it out on one of my players as opposed to me there yet. we laugh about it now though.
Jennica, what I'm saying, when we get that flex on that block at the Hopkins game, he got to do it with you. That's that payback for that technical, I'm telling you. So I promise to give you a little bit of your Wednesday night back. What we'll do is we always wrap it up. I want each player and coach, give me one word to describe the 2021-2022 Minnehaha girls basketball team. We'll start with Lydia.
I'll go with ready. We're ready to go.
I like it. Telia.
I have to go with state.
Aniyah.
Hungry.
Jennica.
Scary.
Addi.
Fierce.
And coach, what's your word for this year's team?
I go with tough. This is a tough group of kids. I think going through what we went through last year, winning a section championship, and just coming up short there in state there yet. This group's hungry. I like all the words the girls chose, from hungry to ready. We're primed and ready to go. I'm excited to coach this group. I can't wait to get to work.
I like it. Well, we will end there. I want to say all of you, thank you for taking your time. I love getting to know your team. I'm very excited. You will see me in the stands at the Hopkins game, probably with the gray hat. Just look for the backpack and the gray hat, probably having a water and Skittles. That's my go-to. So you will see me there. I said, good luck this year, ladies. I look forward to seeing, I expect a lot of success. We got to douse coach in some more water. So we got to get to state to get back to go to there. So we got to get those videos up. So I said, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, Eric. Thank you.
Have a good one. Thank you so much.